A new report claims Jesuits sent priests credibly accused of sexual abuse to retire at Gonzaga University. It says at least 20 offenders lived in a house on campus. Tonight, the university president responds.
Looks like most of the rain has moved out of the area. I am tracking a chance of snow just before Christmas. All the details coming up.
It was like a dream come true.
I almost fainted.
Well, a holiday surprise at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. We were there as Seahawks players stopped by to meet the kids and their families.
Hi everyone, it's good to have you with us. I'm Jane McCarthy.
Welcome everyone, I'm Mark Hanrahan. We start tonight with a bombshell report about Catholic priests accused of sexual misconduct who were sent to retire on the campus of Gonzaga University. According to a report from the Center for Investigative Reporting, at least 20 priests accused of sexual misconduct were relocated to the Cardinal B House on GU's campus. The retirement facility for priests is not run by the university. KREM 2's Alexa Block joins us live from the newsroom tonight with a closer look at that report and how GU's president is responding. Alexa?
The article published by the Center for Investigative Reporting is centered on Father James Poole, a priest who lived in Nome, Alaska. Poole was reportedly a serial sexual predator. He abused at least 20 women and girls, according to court documents. He was eventually moved to the Cardinal B House on GU's campus, where he lived from 2003 to 2015. The Cardinal B House, shown here on Google Maps, is near the heart of Gonzaga University's campus. It is located across the street from St. Al's Church. But the retirement repository for priests is owned and operated by the Jesuits' West Province. A 2005 deposition says Jesuit leaders did not inform Gonzaga administrators or Spokane police about Poole's history. Gonzaga's president Thane McCullough said he just found out Poole lived at the Cardinal B House less than 2 weeks ago, and he learned of Poole's history through this investigative report. He said in a statement, "I feel so much sadness and anger for the women, men, and children who were victimized by Poole and others, and all those who have been sexually assaulted by ordained priests who abuse their power and privilege." Father Frank Case, vice president of Gonzaga and chaplain for the men's basketball team, was mentioned in the article as well. It said Case endorsed Poole for a new job while Case was head of the Jesuits' Oregon province. In a 2008 deposition, Case said he didn't review Poole's file before writing the letter because he had no indication of misconduct, according to the investigation. Case also said he did not have access to Poole's personal file at the time. Now, the last known abusive priest moved out of the Cardinal B House in 2016, according to that investigation. In the newsroom tonight, Alexa Block, KREM 2 News.
Alexa, thank you very much. In other news, the sentencing hearing for President Trump's former national security advisor was delayed today. Michael Flynn pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russia. The delay is giving Flynn more time to cooperate with the government. The judge is holding a status hearing on the case in March. Flynn faces a maximum of 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a $250,000 fine.
The White House says President Trump is willing to work with Congress on a compromise to avoid a government shutdown. Funding for the government runs out December 21st. The president wants $5 billion for border security, including building a border wall.
Mr. President, can we ask about the shutdown?
Yeah. See what happens. We need border security.
Democratic lawmakers say they're only willing to give $1.6 billion for increased border security, although the White House says it has started exploring other sources of funding now. Lawmakers need to come to an agreement by midnight on Friday.
Today, the Trump administration imposed a ban on rapid-fire bump stocks. That's the attachment that allows semi-automatic rifles to fire more rapidly. The Las Vegas shooter, you may recall, used bump stocks to carry out the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history. The Justice Department says owners of bump stocks will have 90 days to either turn them over to the federal government or to melt or destroy them. People who choose not to do that could face charges. Washington, along with 10 other states and several cities, already had a ban on bump stocks.
Longtime actress and director Penny Marshall has died. Her family says she passed away at her home in California due to complications of diabetes. She's best known as Laverne from Laverne and Shirley. She eventually became one of the top-earning female directors in Hollywood as well. She directed Big and A League of Their Own, among other movies. Marshall was the first woman to direct a film that grossed more than $100 million. Penny Marshall was 75 years old.
Well, take a look at this. A rare tornado touched down in western Washington this afternoon. This is the damage in Port Orchard, about 25 miles southwest of Seattle. The National Weather Service says they won't know the strength of that tornado until tomorrow, but as you can see, it uprooted trees and severely damaged several of those homes. Wow. Well, here, relatively clear skies now, but plenty of rain has hit Spokane since Sunday, just over an inch actually, and thanks to above average temperatures, we have not seen any snow over the last few days in the lower elevations. It got us wondering, though, just how much snow Spokane would have gotten if the temperatures were just at the normal high of 31 degrees. Yeah,
the general rule of thumb to convert the number is 1 inch of rain is equivalent to 10 inches of snow. Combining that inch of rain over the last 72 hours with the snow accumulations at higher elevations, Spokane would have likely seen between 7 and 10 inches of snow on the ground over the past few days, again, if temperatures had been below freezing. The snow depth up at Mount Spokane today was just around 10 inches, supporting that estimate. But with temperatures in the 40s and 50s across lower elevations, rain, of course, has been the theme over the past few days. Wow, it's been so warm lately, just unusually warm. We'll send it over to Tom Sherry with a look at what's in store. Hi, Tom.
Yeah, instead of getting ready for Christmas, it's like we could be getting ready for Easter. I mean, with the weather out there, like April-like weather. We are going to see colder weather move in next week. For Christmas week, I think it'll look a little more seasonal for you, and also a chance of snow showers down here locally. We do have some snow falling. Some of the higher elevations in the Cascades as well as across northern Idaho, but generally weather pattern is drying out east of the Cascades through eastern Washington. We're at 43 degrees right now. It's blowing out there, wind out of the southwest at 20 miles an hour. When you take a look at what we've got going on for your day planner forecast, an overnight low of 35, so we keep it above freezing. Should see 43 degrees on Wednesday and windy again, gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour, but not so much rain, maybe a passing shower, but should be mostly dry, we think. For the weekend, we'll see temperatures drop down into the mid-30s, overnight lows in the 20s. Sunday, increasing clouds and a chance of snow. About a 50% chance of snow on Sunday. Monday looks dry, and then Tuesday is Christmas Day. We have a chance of snow on Christmas Day. I'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
In the last 2 years, life expectancy in the U.S. dropped from 78.7 years to 78.6 years. Experts point to opioid addiction and an increase in suicides as the main reasons. Researchers at the National Center for Health also show just how much your specific neighborhood can impact the length of your life. In the inland Northwest, life expectancy can vary by as much as 20 years within just a couple of miles. So in this monitor, the map of the U.S. is color-coded by life expectancy. In Idaho, the average life expectancy is 77.6 years. In Montana, it's 78.5. And in Washington, it's the longest of the three at 79.9. So the darker the blue, the longer people are living. As it transitions toward lighter blue, cream, and brown, life expectancy drops. The study factored in the unemployment rate, household income, and education levels from the most recent census data. They also used death records and demographic data as well. As we take a closer look at the inland Northwest, a lot of our region is shaded in that blue or cream, which is close to the national average life expectancy of 78 years old. But if we zoom in closer, there are big differences just in Spokane County alone. On the southern and northern ends of Spokane County, the life expectancy is 86 years old. Now that's about 6 years more than the state average. But as we move closer to Interstate 90 and downtown Spokane, the life expectancy drops to just 66 years old. That's 20 years less compared to the Meade area and Spokane South Hill. It turns out the unemployment rate, the percent of people without health insurance and without a high school diploma, are much higher in areas with a lower life expectancy. After a pretty severe flu season in Spokane County last year, health officials are mildly optimistic this season will be better. Last flu season, roughly 600 people were hospitalized with the flu in Spokane County. That was way up from the typical range of 180 to 250 hospitalizations. While it is still early, the number of hospitalizations at this point this season is way down compared to last year. We'll take a look at those numbers and hear what the experts are saying coming up new at 6.